finally, let's talk books. You started with comics and then the Bible. Talk to us about, this is a very popular part of the show, the books that you've read that have made an impact on you. I know that you've fallen in love with A Man of All Seasons.
Yes.
You've read it a number of times. Talk to me about that book and the other two books that you want to share with our viewers at home.
Yes. That book, A Man for All Seasons, which I came across when I was still in secondary school. I was particularly impressed by Sir Thomas More's resolve on a matter of principle, and of course, as we know, he went under the guillotine, for standing on a matter of principle. And I also found amazing the characters, the Cromwells and Roper and these characters on that side. They were not really, these are the guys who were getting angry on behalf of the king, and they were quite happy. The king wanted this resolved, and the actual method was up to the guys getting angry on behalf of. So I found that quite interesting, this book, and I recommend it to a lot of young people to say, read that book, and you learn something about life.
And the other book is How Rich Countries Got Rich by Eric Reinert.
Yes, Professor Reinert, I arranged for him to come here 2013. In fact, he was here twice and addressed CZI and the universities here. And it's something that I found more and more as one gets older, appreciating. The fact that what makes a child walk is not because it has 2 feet. A child walks because it sees others walking.
Right.
You've heard these stories about children who are grown up living with animals. They also walk on fours.
Yeah.
Yes. So I never actually thought about it to say, but you walk. But in fact, if although I have 2 feet, if the people around me were walking on fours, I would have walked on fours. And I think this for me is the basic lesson from Eric Reinert's book, to say, look at how other nations have become just societies. They've become prosperous, societies. How come you look at what they have done, almost a copy and paste. And I know there are people who say, oh, no, we shouldn't copy, we do our own thing. And I say to a lot of them, well, where is your car? It will have four wheels.
And this is a book that you've bought and given to quite a number of prominent people. KK?
I have given people just to share. I got so excited about sharing. The first book, I bought it at Nairobi airport. And I've since been buying copies. I gave the former president a copy. I've given the current president a copy. I was asking the other day to say, President,
have you read it?
Where are you with that book? Because I've got another that's coming.
Yeah.
Tendai Bitu, when he was Minister of Finance, I gave him a copy. I gave Patrick Namas, I gave Bima a copy. Precisely because I just thought we need to share. How come other nations have prospered?
And we are in this sad state of
precisely. There are things that they have had to do, and we need to learn from this. That's really the big lesson. And I keep reading that book, and I've recommended it to a lot of people.
And the last book is Collapse by Jared Diamond.
Jared Diamond.
Jared
Yes.
Diamond?
Yes. Collapse. And there's a section there about the Great Zimbabwe. And what he says is, when we visit the Great Zimbabwe, among other, when there's the Mayan kingdoms, the pyramids, we go there with it's kind of a romantic sense, about, our forefathers, great people. And what he says in there was, it's a ruin. It represents failure. Now I say to myself, but wait a minute. There's something there. In other words, that represents a collapse. So normally we don't go there to learn, to say, how do we avoid collapsing? you know, and how do societies collapse? This happens and then they collapse, and how do we avoid it? So that's one of the books that I've always thought is really amazing. I've taken groups of managers during the economic crisis when I was at Ariston. I took a manager. There is a ruin just outside Nyanga. When you go there and you say to yourself, how did people do this? And what I've said to the people, if you look at the Great Zimbabwe, people stone upon stone, did they use scaffolding? How did they do it? These guys didn't have any engineering training, but here we are with computers, and we can't deal with basic issues of feeding ourselves,
Feeding
water
potholes,
water to the townships. We have so much knowledge about dealing with these issues that when we look at our heritage of these ruins, I think we to a large degree we should be ashamed of ourselves that we sit on our brains. We should be doing much more. So those are the 3 books.